Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ashok Kumar from Government Women Engineering College Ajmer. This is lecture 3 on mobile communication antenna series, and in this lecture 3 we are going to discuss about the planar inverted F antenna, or we are also saying it is a PIFA antenna, PIFA antenna. The following contents will be addressed during this lecture 3 of this series. Initially, the introduction about planar inverted F antenna, then the radiation mechanism of half wavelength microstrip patch antenna, then design equation of PIFA antenna, and some problem based on the PIFA design. Therefore, the contents of this lecture is prepared with the help of this reference book. Planar inverted F antenna. What is planar inverted F antenna? Where we are using this planar inverted F antenna? So simply we can say that a planar inverted F antenna is a very popular and widely used antenna design in mobile communication, and its name is due to the resemblance of a letter F with its face down in its side view. As we can see that the PIFA antenna having some kind of F antenna in which one horizontal arm of F is giving the feed to the antenna, and one we have connected with the ground plane. So this kind of antenna is called as a PIFA antenna, and initially or intrinsic PIFA antenna is the derivative of lambda by 4 rectangular microstrip patch antenna. As you can see in this figure here, this is the rectangular microstripes of length lambda by 4. Here you can see this is the length of L equal to lambda by 4. So generally, as we have discussed in the microstrip antenna series about the microstrip patch antenna, in which we are taking one ground plane and then substrate, and then the radiating element along with the feed line. So radiating element and feed line in the same plane. So we can say it is a three layer combination, and it is printed on a circuit board. So we are saying it's a printed antenna, or sometimes we are saying it is also called as a planar antenna. So here you can say this is ground plane, and here we are taking the feed, and this feed width we have calculated in the microstrip patch antenna series. And here you can see if we have removed this sorting sheet, then it's behave like a rectangular microstrip antenna. If we have connected this sorting sheet, as you can see, which is represented by the width of sorting sheet is WSP, then this kind of configuration is called as a inverted F, or we can say it's a variant of planar inverted F antenna, and we are taking the substrate epsilon r and height h. So the important is it is a variant of L equal to lambda by 4 when we are giving the microstrip feed line. When we are giving the pro feed, in that case you can see here this is the feed element and this is the sorting sheet. In that case the distance between the feed and the sorting sheet is playing a vital role to match the input impedance characteristics of the antenna, and other configuration is similar to the rectangular microstrip feed antenna. Here you can see this is the radiating element, but here we are providing the coaxial feed. The center element of coaxial connector is connected to the radiating element, and outer conductor is connected to the ground plane of the microstrip antenna. So this is the configuration, and if we are taking the length L by 2, in that case we are saying it's a rectangular microstrip patch antenna having length having length L equal to lambda by 2, that we have discussed in microstrip antenna series. If we are taking the length L nearly approximately equal to lambda by 4, then it is called as a rectangular lambda by 4 microstripes, and it is a one kind of variant of planar inverted F antenna. So we have some advantage among others microstrip patch antenna. The low backward radiation reduce the specific absorption rate compared to other antenna system when used in mobile applications. So this is the widely or very important advantage of this kind of antenna, low backward radiation. And due to the low backward radiation, it is less harmful to the human body, and through which we have measured the specific absorption rate. Second is the both vertical and horizontal polarization can be received or achieved by using this PFI antenna. It can be easily integrated in mobile devices. It is a lightweight, conformal, easy to design, low cost and reliable. So these are some advantages as compared to other type of lambda by 4 rectangular microstripes. In that case, we are getting some important conclusion that are illustrated in this slide. Before going to understand the radiation mechanism of these planar inverted F antenna, first we need to understand the radiation mechanism of lambda by 2 patch antenna. So in a lambda by 2, the current distribution of a lambda by 2 antenna has a peak on the center of the patch and goes zero at the edges. The similar concept as we have discussed during the analysis of wire antenna. In that case, in the wire antenna, we have discussed that when the element is feed through the center element, in that case the current is maximum and the minimum current is observed at the edges of the dipole. Similarly, in the case of lambda by 2 patch antenna, similar current distribution is seen on a lambda by 2 patch antenna. So this is the similarity between the linear as well as in the patch antenna of having the lambda by 2 wavelength length. In that case, we have analyzed the current distribution as well as we can also calculated the voltage, and this voltage is out of phase from the current, as you can see, starting from a positive at one edge of the negative at other edge or vice versa. It means we can say, suppose if t is equal to 0, it is having the positive half cycle in which the current having the maximum at the center and edges is minimum. In that case, other half cycle, or we can say negative, in that case we are getting the negative current distribution. Or then after we can calculate the voltage drop, and as we have seen that at the center of lambda by 2 phase the voltage is 0 and the current reaches is maximum as per the cycle at as per the different time instant, as we are taking t is equal to 0 to t is equal to t by 4, t is equal to t by 2, etc. In that case we have analyzed, and this similar concept we have discussed during the analysis of linear wire antenna series as well as during the analysis of microstrip antennas. The zero voltage at the center of lambda by 2 patch antenna means it is a short circuited from the patch to the ground plane. So we can see the important conclusion from the lambda by 2 patch antenna is the zero voltage. It means it is a short circuit. If a sorting pin is physically placed at the center of lambda by 2 microstrip patch and half of the antenna is removed, the current and voltage will basically the same as once for lambda by 2 antenna. Thus, the antenna will radiate. The similar radiation mechanism as we have discussed in the wire antenna or as well as in the microstrip antenna series. In that case, if we have replaced uh, the zero voltage drop with a sorting pin, as you can see here, you can see at the center we have replaced. In that case, the similar mechanism is occur in the case of lambda by 2 dipole, and then antenna will radiate. By reducing the size of antenna, that this as compared to lambda by 2 patch, it's include a reduction in the bandwidth as well as gain. I mean, when we are reducing the size to lambda by 4 as compared to lambda by 2 patch, then a reduction in its bandwidth and gain is observed. Here you can see this is the configuration of a planar inverted F antenna, and here you can see similar configuration that we have discussed in the lambda by 4 rectangular microstripe cases. In that case, it is a ground plane and this is the substrate having dielectric constant epsilon r and height of the substrate h, and the width of the patch w and length of the patch l is considered. In that case, the important is the sorting pin width. As you can see, this is the width and this is the gap between the, this is a feed element and this is a sorting pin. In that case, to match the input impedance of the P5 antenna, in that case the gap between sorting pin and the feed is playing a vital role that we have represented here is y naught, and similar we have discussed when we have considered the recessed microstrip line or inside feed line in the case of rectangular microstrip antenna. And this is the top view of this P5 antenna. Here you can see, so this is sorting pin. Here you can see having the width w of s, and this is the gap y naught, and this is the feed element. So from this analysis, we can analyze the effective length as well as uh, LE means length of a E plane and length of a H plane, that we can calculate. And if we have seen it from the side view, in that case, it is a coaxial feed connected, and this is the feed and this is the sorting pin, and this gap is playing a vital role to match the input impedance of the P5 antenna, and this is the length of the antenna. So from the analysis, we can conclude that the resonance frequency of the P5 antenna can be determined by the length L, width W, and width of sorting sheet or pin WS, and height of the substrate H. Here you can see H, L, W, WS, through which we can calculate the resonance frequency of this P5 antenna. As we have discussed in microstrip antenna series also, that the height of the substrate is very small in a printed or in a planar antenna, and the sorting sheet is only one pin that is being used in P5 antenna, then L plus W nearly equal to lambda by 4. So we can say the overall length and width equal to lambda by 4. In summary form, we can analyze the P5 antenna design equation, and you can see that L plus W minus WS. Here you can see this is L, this is W, and this is WS. L plus W, and this is the sorting pin. So we have reduced W minus WS, which is equal to lambda by 4 plus H. H is the height of the substrate that we have considered, and 10, which is equal to L equal to minus W plus WI. So this is the expression through which we can calculate the length of a P5 antenna, where lambda is the wavelength, and this wavelength we have measured in a dielectric medium. For the special cases, if suppose WS nearly equal to W, in that case the L equal to lambda by 4 plus H can be calculated from the equation 9. If WS is equal to 0, then L equal to minus W plus lambda by 4 plus H. So these are some special cases through which can also design the planar inverted F antenna as expressed in equation 9, 9a and 9b. So using equation 9, we can calculate the resonance frequency of the P5 antenna, and it can be expressed and through this expression 10, F equal to V naught. V naught is the free space velocity, and 4 is the 1 by 4 is the multiplication factor, and that is due to the quarter wavelength. L plus W minus WS. Here you can see this is or we can generally say lambda is equal to V naught by F into root of epsilon r. We are putting in equation 9, then we can calculate the resonance frequency V naught upon 4 L plus W minus WS minus S root of epsilon r, where epsilon r is the relative permittivity of the substrate. So we can say the P5 antenna can be designed, and it is the resonance frequency depends on the length, width, and the sorting pin sheet as well as height of the substrate along with the dielectric constant, as we have discussed initially. So the input impedance of the P5 is controlled by distance from the sorting pin to the feed point, as we have discussed here, that this is the distance y naught, and through which we can match the input impedance. The magnitude of input impedance decreases at this distance, y naught increases, and vice versa. So this is the important conclusion from this analysis. We get that if the magnitude of input impedance decreases, in that case the distance y naught is also increases. So to match the antenna with a 50 ohm transmission line, the feed should be closer to the sorting pin than to the open end of a PFA. Y naught should be less than equal to lambda by 2. So we can say we have considered the Y naught is appropriate value through which we can get the 50 ohm matching between a coaxial cable as well as the antenna element. So this is the important. And the radiation pattern of a PFA antenna is a hybrid radiation pattern, and it is called as a combination of a microstrip patch antenna as well as inverted F antenna. In microstrip and patch antenna, it's become a unidirectional, as we have discussed in a inverted F antenna. It's that will be discussed in the subsequent lecture of this series. In that case, we will discuss about the inverted F antenna, and in that case we are getting the bidirectional, or we can say it's a figure of 8 shape, and it is a unidirectional. If we have merged bit of both patch antenna and inverted F antenna, then we are getting a hybrid radiation pattern characteristics. So from the PFA antenna we are getting the hybrid radiation. We are considering one problem, and for to understand the process that we have calculated, or that we have explained in this lecture of this series, and here we have to design a PFA antenna, and some parameters are given here. Epsilon r given, h is also given, f frequency of operation given, w given, ws given, and we need to calculate the lw and ws. And lw and ws we can easily calculate by considering the equation 9, and through which we have calculated. As you can see, this is the equation 9, and this is very important equation through which we can calculate these parameters. And here you can see in terms of lambda we have calculated. Then after we are putting lambda is equal to c by f value from and f is given 1.8, and epsilon r, it is a substrate having epsilon r is equal to 1. In that case we can consider the velocity of light equal to the velocity of a light in a dielectric medium. So we can calculate these parameter values, and further in this problem, this problem it simulated on some specific software, and observed the 3D and principal 2D pattern along with S11, and this is simulated from the HFSS by this professor, and we are considering this figure from this book. And here you can see this is the F, then in that case H, L, W, WS, and Y naught we have calculated. Then we are getting it's around 1.8 gigahertz, and this is slightly deviated, as you can see. And these are the 3D radiation pattern, and these are the 2D radiation pattern. So here you can see the pattern is we cannot say it is a unidirectional, or we can also not say it is a bidirectional. So we can say it is a hybrid radiation pattern of the PFA antenna, as you can see for these PFA design parameters. Thank you very much for watching this lecture. I hope this lecture is beneficial for you. In the subsequent lecture of this series, we will discuss about the slot antenna, I mean planar slot antenna, that is being used in mobile communication systems.